Welcome. Now, this week's Bushbite, I want to ask you, are your credit cards costing you your next property? And let me start by asking you, do you have a credit card, an interest-free card, some store cards or something similar? Because currently there are 13 million credit cards in Australia with an average balance of just under $3,000. And apparently about 70% of all adults have a credit card, and many of us have multiple. But what you may not know is that credit cards have a massive impact on how much you can borrow towards getting your next property. You see, banks don't look at the balance on the card, they look at the limit. And then they assume a minimum payment of 3% per month of that limit, which equates to a whopping 36% interest rate per year. So you may have cards that you've never used or haven't used for years, but they're still severely reducing how much you can borrow for your next property. And as a rule of thumb, for every $1,000 of limit you have on a credit card, it reduces how much you can borrow by up to $4,000 to $7,000, depending on which lender you're talking to. So a $10,000 credit card limit reduces how much you can lend up to $40,000 to $70,000. Now, this may be enough to actually prevent you from getting your next property. So the bottom line, cancel any unused cards and reduce the limit to the absolute minimum. And while we're at it, don't go over limit in terms of your spend in a month, and don't be late in making the repayments, because they can be red flags and knockout punches to some lenders and some banks. The bottom line, cut your credit cards to the limit if you want to get your next property.